Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Now, hold up, guys. Let me make sure I share this with everybody. Shout out to everybody coming through, just letting the people get in here. Hopefully, notifications went out. I wasn't sure how later in the day I was going to go live because I had a couple of appointments today. Um, okay, I'm repeating myself. I could hear myself somewhere else. Give me one sec, guys. 1 second. All right. Now that we're settled, hey everybody, welcome, welcome. You're working. Shout out to everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Shout out to everybody. Welcome everybody. So like I said, I wasn't sure how when I was gonna go live because I had a couple of appointments that I had to tend to, and I have a lot of appointments next week too. So I'm trying to balance my schedule. But everybody come through, come through. Where's my headphone thing? Okay, I don't have it here. Shout out to everybody. Hey. Yes, baby bunny had a good checkup. My appointment today was for me, and then I have another one next week too. So, you got to do those annual physical checkups, all those annoying things that you have to do. You know how it is. You know how it is. Okay, hold up, guys. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Okay, let's get started, guys. So, we are day 4 of the Julia Wandelt trial, Julia Wandelt and Karen Spragg. Now, for those of you guys that don't know what is this case about, I'll give you the little quick short of this situation. A couple years ago, a woman by the name of Julia Wandelt came online saying that she believed she was Madeleine McCann. She went viral. She started an account, and there was a couple of funny characters that were involved in this situation. One of which is actually being charged. She's like a co-defendant to the situation. Well, at one point, Julia Wandelt got mental health support and was able to stop the behavior, which was stalking the McCanns, and it started back up again. And so she's gone as far as to go to the property, accost the McCanns, message the Madeleine McCann siblings. So she has gone above and beyond to get the attention of the McCanns. And a lot of this stems from wanting a DNA test. Okay. So this trial right here isn't about a DNA test. Mhm. This trial isn't about a DNA test. This trial is about stalking behaviors and the extent that they have gone and the coordinated effort between Julia Wandelt and Karen Spragg to stalk the McCanns. I mean, they literally went as far as to going to their property. Okay. So we're going to get started. We are in day 4. Now, if you guys remember, I don't know, the BBC is not tweeting anymore. So now we're stuck with vpnews.co.uk. So UK news and UK court live. That's what we're stuck with. So we're stuck with that. We're gonna be reviewing those, and that's what we're gonna do, which is great. Whatever, we got to do what we got to do. So if you guys remember yesterday, Gerry and Kate McCann took the stand. Gerry and Kate McCann took the stand, and Gerry and Kate kind of just basically gave their statements about being stalked by Julia Wandelt, what happened when Julia Wandelt and Karen Sprague went to the property, the coordinated efforts, the constant adding into WhatsApp groups, like they were being added to groups. And they're being classified, Julia Wandelt and Karen Sprague are being classified as, well, Karen Sprague specifically, conspiracy theories. Kate McCann said yesterday that she was like, I was a little worried about Julia Wandelt's mental health because she could tell that there was a mental health situation happening with Julia Wandelt, which I think a lot of us kind of could tell that. But it it basically emboldens her to do these kinds of behaviors, right? So at one point, Kate McCann said, I really thought about just putting this to bed and just giving her a DNA test, but we know that she's not Maddie. We know that she's not Maddie. You know, they just know. And so the reality of the situation is that it's not the DNA test isn't about the McCanns. It's really on Operation Grange because they're the ones holding on to the DNA and everything, right? For Maddie McCann. And so a lot of this is a process. The other side to this too is that Julia Wandelt, and I've repeated again, I'll say it again, has reportedly said that she was 3 other missing people before landing on Maddie McCann. 3 other missing people. Okay. And her mother, Donata had offered Julia, even though Julia never talks about this, had offered Donata to do a DNA test with her own child, right? When Julia Wandelt came through, she didn't show any of the baby pictures. She said she never had any baby pictures. She says she doesn't remember anything, but then she remembers certain things. So, yes, honey, yes. So it's like we're going by whatever Julia Wandelt says and how she's driving this. And over the years, and this has been literally a 3 or 4 year situation, the supporters for Julia Wandelt grow and they enable her behavior. So here we are, day 4 of the court trial hearing. So on the day 4, it says right here, trial to resume at Leicester Crown Court. Day 3 of the stalking trial is set to begin. Yesterday, both Kate and Gerry McCann gave emotional evidence, with Gerry describing his distress over messages sent to daughter Emily. Evidence from the McCann children expected next. Maddie's sister, Emily, in the witness box. Trial has begun with evidence from Emily McCann, Madeleine's younger sister. Now 20, Emily is giving evidence via video link, wearing a black and pink polka dot top, as the court falls into silence to hear her account. Emily messaged on social media. Emily McCann told the court, "I knew of her before she contacted me. I think police had told my parents about it, and maybe it was on the news. It started January of 2024. She'd been messaging me on social media." Wow. Wandelt claimed to be Maddie. The court heard Wandelt began sending messages to Emily McCann from a social media account called Julia in January of 2024, claiming to be Madeleine. And you know what, guys? That account is still around. Let me show you guys. Julia is still around. Yep. Let me see. Because there were so many accounts. There was a couple of accounts that she had. This is the account, one of the Julia Wandelt accounts, and you could see all the doctored up evidence that they put up here. The DNA test results. The people that they use this DNA test results, that it's like this girl doctors up stuff. Like that's what she does. There's nothing else to it. Hold up. Let me see if I can find. There's other accounts. Julia Wandelt. Follow Julia Wandelt to official. Julia Wandelt backup. Here's another one. Give you guys an idea. It's a couple of accounts out there. There was one that I remember specifically that almost got to like 1 million followers, and I believe it was taken down. I can't remember. I think Fia Johansson was running that account at some point. How has she been not arrested before for stalking and harassment? That's a great question. Rotten Banana. This was the first time that the McCanns actually took action, because she went to the vigil, the Maddie McCann vigil, like she was there and they weren't there. And then she went to their house and then she was sending them messages. Okay, so she went as far as to contacting the people that were with the McCanns the night that Maddie McCann went missing or was abducted. I don't think Madeleine McCann is alive anymore. That's just my opinion, but you guys let me know what you guys think in the comments. Okay, let's keep going. So it says Madeleine message on social media. So she says she knew her before she was before Julia contacted Emily. Wandelt claimed to be Maddie. The court heard Wandelt began messaging Emily McCann from a social media account called Julia in January of 2024, claiming to be Madeleine. She says, I didn't know it was stalking. Emily told the jury she didn't mention the message until September. So Emily was receiving these messages and she never said anything to her mom, Kate McCann, 'cause she didn't know it was stalking. Emily's 20 now, right? I wasn't aware of the extent of her contact with my family, so I wouldn't have thought it was a criminal offense or considered it stalking. I thought I could deal with it myself. Emily McCann told the jury, I thought it was something I could deal with myself. I didn't want to add any extra stress to my parents or my family. So I left it. I left it till later. Okay. I was used to ignoring messages, she added. I was used to getting messages from people about the case, not claiming to be Madeleine or anything. So I was used to ignoring them. Okay. There was a sound of desperation. Emily McCann told the jury it was quite distressing to see these messages. There was a sound of desperation in them. Now, again, yesterday, Julia Wandelt had a outbreak or like she had this like while Kate McCann was like leaving the stand or something. Why are you doing this to me? Now, here's the deal, you guys. There are videos out there of Julia Wandelt having meltdowns in public. Okay, so this is behavioral for Julia. She's a 24-year-old woman that has not figured out how to self-regulate or how to deal with situationships. Somebody left a comment yesterday while I was covering the trial and said, if this woman was going as far as doctoring receipts and photos, how are we considering that mental health and not premeditation? And I 1000% agree, right? Like at some point, this becomes premeditation. It's one thing for me to say, I think I am Richie's daughter, right? And I leave a comment on Lionel Richie calling him, hey, daddy, or something like that, right? Like that would be it. But to go as far as to go to Lionel Richie's house, go to where his events are out, email the people around here, email Christina Ritchie, email these people, I wouldn't be able to do that, right? Because I would be like arrested. I would. It would be one thing for me to say that. But I'm just wondering, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. And shout out to everybody coming through, guys. Thank you so much. Hey, daddy is crazy, right? Lionel Richie's my daddy. Yeah, he doesn't know. Hello? It's me you're looking for. Okay. Let's keep going, y'all. Okay. It put a lot of stress on me. I felt quite uncomfortable. I didn't want to receive messages about it. It put a lot of stress on me. Emily said, describing her reaction to Wandelt's repeated claims. Okay. It was quite disturbing. She said she was shaken when Wandelt claimed to have childhood memories in the McCann's home, family home. It's quite disturbing that she's coming up with these supposed memories, even though she's not Madeleine. She messaged me on Facebook and Instagram. Madeleine McCann told the court Wandelt, Wandelt, I think it's Wendell, contacted her across social media platforms. She messaged me on other platforms, I think Instagram, but mostly Facebook. Wandelt reported flashbacks. Emily McCann told the court that Wandelt's first message to her in January of 2024 said, I have so many flashbacks. I know so many things. I don't know if this is the real account for Emily McCann, but I can tell you my memories. I didn't reply to protect myself. Emily McCann told jurors she didn't respond to messages from Wandelt. I don't usually reply to people I don't know to protect myself, really. No DNA test needed. Asked if she wanted a DNA test with Wandelt, Emily said, no. I always knew she wasn't Madeleine, and those around me didn't think it was appropriate either. By the way, again, Julia is Polish. Madeleine, the McCanns are not Polish. Okay. I want to show you guys. Let me stop right here and let me show you guys the delulu of this situation. Okay. The delulu of this situation. I mean, AI is real. This is a supporter. This is very real. Julia Wandelt needs to be shown some respect, not contempt. Gerry and Kate McCann have a duty to care of this young woman, and the rest of society would have followed the story from day one with compassion and benefit of doubt for them. Now it's their turn to show compassion and removal of doubt of her. Anything. This is Maddie, and this is some, I don't know if this is like AI Julia to put like a little, little bob like this young, Maddie McCann had. Like, I'm just letting y'all know, like, they're the supporters, and I'm sure that they're very nice people, don't get me wrong, but y'all are doing the most. Is that the dolphin woman? What dolphin woman? It's a bunny boiler. You're right, James. It's a bunny boiler. See, I have a secret to tell you. I am Maddie McCann. You guys just don't know it. Okay? I'm the real Maddie McCann. And Pika might be the Maddie McCann too. And there's a couple of Maddie McCanns in here. Because I'm telling you, it's a thing that people do every so often. There's a TikTok trend. There's a business. I am Maddie McCann. It just becomes a trend. You knew it. You knew it. Hand me your internet rabbit. Listen. Ron's like, no, I am the real. Well, the real Maddie McCann. And I hate to put it this, it's a really sad situation what has happened to the real Maddie McCann. Like, it's really sad. But I want you guys to know that people have made a business out of pretending to be Maddie McCann. She's no different. Okay? I'm just saying. Just saying. Okay? All right. Let's keep going. I will do whatever it takes. Emily McCann told the court Wandelt messaged her. I will do whatever it takes to prove she was Madeleine. She said it shows the length she would go to. It was scary. It was scary as you don't know what she would do next. So, blocked on social media. Emily McCann told the court she blocked Wandelt on Facebook and TikTok, then showed her mom, Kate, on WhatsApp screen recordings of all the messages she received. Edited photos sent to Emily. Emily McCann told the court Julia sent a letter with edited photos of them to make them look alike. It was disturbing. I knew it had been changed, she said. A bit scary. Emily McCann said a message from Wandelt showed the lengths she'd go to get heard, which is a bit scary because it shows you the lengths she would go. You don't know what she'd do next. Emily McCann told the court a message from Wandelt made her feel not scared, but you don't know what she would do next. Girl, she went from Poland to the UK just to be heard. Who does that? All right, hold up, guys. Oh, you know what I'm going to play while I'm here? Okay, hold up, guys. You know what I'm going to play while I'm here? Let me show you guys the extent that she was willing to go. Hold up. This is her calling Gerry McCann.
Hello,
let me get something.
Hello, I'm Julia. Can we talk, please? I don't want to disturb you. I just need to talk with you.
You must have the wrong number.
No, I know your voice, Gerry.
Hello, who's speaking?
Hello, I'm Julia. Can we talk, please? I don't want to disturb you. I just need to talk with you.
You must have the wrong number.
No, I know your voice, Gerry.
Hello, who's speaking?
Hello, I'm Julia.
Yeah, that's fine. So this is Julia. Now, obviously, what I've done.
All right, give me 1 second, guys. All right. So I just wanted to play that for you guys. And now we can get back to the thread. So where did we leave off at? Well, I had to take a little, do something for Baby Bunny. She says, a bit scary. Emily McCann said a message from Wandelt showed the length she'd go to be heard, which is a bit scary. It shows you the length she would go. You don't know what she would do next. Okay, we read this. And then she said, blocked on TikTok. Emily McCann said she blocked Wandelt on TikTok because she could see when someone viewed her profile. It was such a regular occurrence. I felt uncomfortable. I definitely blocked her on that. You know how TikTok tells you who views your profile and everything? Like TikTok will tell you that. That's kind of crazy. So she's having to like block the girl. She's like, there's an unwanted view. Okay. Let's keep going. Facebook messages ignored, then blocked. Emily said Wandelt messages sat in Facebook requests. She ignored them at first, but later blocked her. Okay. Constant phone calls took a toll on Mom. Emily said all the time her phone would be going off and it would be Julia. It was upsetting and emotionally exhausting. Mom harassed with manipulative messages. She was begging you to believe her, playing with your emotions, making you question yourself, saying, I'm your daughter. My mom really struggled. So Emily McCann is talking about Kate McCann. Like her mom was struggling with this because the messages were manipulated. And we read one of those messages yesterday where she's like, you're strong and I'm your daughter. And then she signed the letter Madeleine with like X with like a kiss or something. So off. Last hope letter. Emily received a letter at home from Wandelt saying that she was her last hope and really needed her help. So Emily received a letter. So now she's not only was she getting social media messages, now Emily was received a letter from Wandelt, like an actual mail letter. So not only am I blocking you, okay, but you're literally sending me messages via postal. Yeah, like that's beyond anything. Crazy. Okay, and it further goes. Disturbing edited photos. The letter included photos of Emily and Wandelt, some altered to make her look more like Emily. It made me feel very uncomfortable, she told the court. Oh my God. Panic alarm installed. The family installed a panic alarm connected to the police in Leicestershire. I always mess it up, y'all. Correct me in the chat. In the area. So they connected an alarm with the police. That's normal. The thought of her, that's not normal. The thought of her potentially turning up is very scary to me. So it got to the point where they had to install a panic alarm that would alert the police if Julia or Julia supporters came to the property. That's crazy. LinkedIn contact. Emily said Wandelt even tried to reach her on LinkedIn. She literally tried any way to get to me. I thought it was quite extreme. Evidence heard. Emily McCann has finished giving her evidence. Oh my God. Now it's Maddie's brother. This is so disturbing. Oh my God, Wim. Thank you, Wim. Wim's in the chat. Shout out to Wim. Thank you for stopping by, Wim. Make sure you guys are putting some hearts in the chat. And he's been a member for 34 months. My goodness. Thank you, Wimmy. Thank you. Put some hearts in the chat for Wim, who just gifted. Thank you, Wimmy. Leicestershire. Madeleine's sister is pronounced Emily. Not Emily, Emily. Thank you. Yeah, now the brother. That's crazy, right? Crazy work here. Let's keep going. Okay. An agreed statement from Shaun McCann, 20, is now being read to the court. Persistent and strange messages. Shaun McCann said Wandelt had been stalking me and my family, contacting him persistently on Instagram. Account name, I am Madeleine McCann. Oh, look at this. So for those supporters that said she never said she was Maddie, yeah, she said it on her account. That's how a lot of us got into the story, myself included and other creators. She said in her account, and I quote, it was called I am Madeleine McCann. It wasn't I think I'm Madeleine McCann. No, it was I am Madeleine McCann. That was the account name. He told the court of the name I am Madeleine McCann was used by one of the accounts that messaged him. That was that big account. It almost got to like 1 million, or it was at 1 million, if my memory serves me right. And that account was taken over by Fia Johansson, who she might have because Fia Johansson might have gotten to that account to get into there to use it for something else. But that account was given to Fia Johansson, and she was running it for a while. Deeply disturbing claims. Shaun said of the messages and Wandelt claims, I do not believe she is my sister. I find it deeply disturbing. Family impact. Shaun said seeing his mom and sister upset, of course, made me upset, describing the effect of Wandelt's messages on the whole family. Hurtful and upsetting. Shaun described Wandelt's claims as hurtful and said that they were a very sensitive topic for me and my family. Not interested in what she has to say, he added. I'm not interested in what she has to say. I do not believe she's Madeleine. Telling jurors her contact left him distressed. Shaun's statements end. So Shaun didn't go to court, but he wrote a statement for the court. Emily attended the court. Shaun's statements end. Prosecutors have now finished reading Shaun McCann's statement to the jurors. Okay, at the court. Fourth witness. Oh, there's a fourth witness? Ooh. Jurors are now hearing from Ellie McQueen, whose mom grew up with Kate. What, honey? Okay, here we go. Yeah, deeply disturbing for sure. Fourth witness in the box. Here we go. Jurors are now hearing from Ellie McQueen, whose mom grew up with Kate McCann in Liverpool and is Shaun's godmother. Ellie told the court that she had a lot of memories of Madeleine growing up. Traveled to Portugal in 2007. The court heard Ellie traveled to Portugal with her mom shortly after Madeleine's disappearance. Received messages from Julia. Oh my God. She went as far as sending messages. Like, I knew that she had sent the message to Mr. Payne, who was the other friend. She was sending messages to everybody, guys. Received messages from Julia. Ellie said Julia's name has been on the news and came up quite a few times. We don't pay much attention to the Maddie case unless Kate has said something directly. Contact from Julia relentless. But Julia came on our radar because Kate had mentioned it to me and my mom. It was quite relentless. There was a lot of contact trying to be made by Julia towards the family. Oh, so she's a witness to this. Messages started in 2024. Ellie said, I received a message on Facebook in June of 2024 and later more around February. I wasn't aware of this until late February or early March. Checking on my spam, there were many messages dating back quite a while. Profile name Julia. The profile name on Facebook was Julia, Ellie told jurors. Okay. Tried to recruit me to contact McCann's. Ellie McQueen told the jury, Julia was trying to get me to contact the family to let them know she wanted to speak with them or to them. She seemed to know my mom is very close to Kate and was trying to get her to speak to Kate. claimed to have DNA proof. Ellie McQueen told the jury that Julia Wandelt said that she wanted to prove DNA evidence to prove she was Madeleine. She said she had a feeling she remembered things and that she was Madeleine, Ellie said. She says she was threatened by Operation Grange. We have that recording, by the way, because she put that on social media. Ellie told jurors Julia claimed that she had been threatened by the police investigation team, Operation Grange. She seemed angry and upset that nobody believed who she was, Ellie said. Kate is private. Ellie said Wandelt appeared to know the family's inner circle. It's a traumatic case. Kate deals with quite a lot, but this was different. I would never put Kate in this position. Contacting people she doesn't know, Kate is very private. Triggering and distressing. Ellie added that the Wandel's attempts were distressing for the McCanns. The whole thing is very traumatic and triggering. Julia was trying to insert herself into their private lives and family communications. Okay? And Maddie was like a little sister. Ellie McQueen told the court that Madeleine McCann was like a little sister to me, reflecting on the close bond that she had with the family. Okay? Court adjourns for lunch. And that was a hearing has now been paused for a lunch break. Okay. So, and it keeps going. We're going to keep going. But I want to find out, because I know I had that recording. Hold up. I'm going to pull it from TikTok. And I'm going to pull Julia Wandelt, Operation Grange. So you guys can hear. Some of you guys might have not heard this. I think it's an important call. Let's see. Julia Wandelt calls the FBI. No, that's not it. She called the Operation Grange. Here it is. I don't see it. Where's it at? The officer told her, like, stop calling here. You're not her. Operation Grange, Julia Wandelt. I wish I would have had that video ready. Okay, no, that's not. Okay, very dramatic music. Is this it? Nope, that's her contacting Gerry. Hold up, y'all. See if I can find it. Free Julia. Julia's trying to give Gerry the information that she gathered and asking for a DNA. Okay, whatever. No, I can't find it. I'll have to look somewhere else. I called Kate, but Gerry picked up. This might be the one that we've already shared.
Hello, who's speaking?
Hello, I'm Julia. Can we talk, please?
Oh, yes, we've heard
I don't want
this
to
one.
disturb you.
I don't want to disturb you, yada, 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 yada. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to have to pull that from somewhere else. She recorded herself calling Operation Grange. We have that recording. I bet you I can pull it in another video. Anyways, let's keep going with the updates. Prosecutors enabled. Let me see. Let me see if I can find it on my video, guys. Give me 1 second. Because that would be cool if we can get it. Julia Wandelt. Show all. I have so many videos on this. Is this it? Next in court. They recorded the crime. Hold up. This might be it here. Sorry, guys. I should have pulled this before. Let's go to the transcript. Operation Grange. Was this it? Okay. This was Martin Case. By the way, shout out to Martin Case, who's like an investigative journalist. He was one of the ones that was like talking and discussing the Maddie McCann case right when it happened. This might be it here.
The police numerous times about this, including contacting Operation Grange. Now, Operation Grange is the department that is in charge of the missing case for Madeleine McCann. After she had attended the anniversary of Madeleine McCann and tried to speak with her family, the police ended up contacting Julia. Now, it was a member of Operation Grange, and this is what he had to say.
I'm a police officer from the Metropolitan Police.
Okay.
And I work on Operation Grange, the Madeleine McCann case.
Okay.
And we actually spoke. My name's Mark. We actually spoke a number of years ago.
Yes, 2022.
Yeah. You rang me when you were in a.
This story first went viral in 2023, so she had been keeping this on since 2022. Okay.
In a hospital. So yeah, so I told you back then that you weren't Maddeleine McCann. I'm obviously aware you went to Leicester, to Rothley at the anniversary, and you also went to Charing Cross Police Station.
That's true.
So obviously we have been following everything. We know everything that's gone on with you. All I'm going to say is what I said back in 2022. You are not Maddeleine McCann, okay? I know that's hard to hear, and I know you've been told this by many people, but you have to remember we've worked on this investigation for since 2011.
So that officer had also spoken to Julia 2 years earlier while Julia was in the hospital dealing with her mental health. At that time, he explained to her she was not Maddeleine McCann, and he thought she had understood. Now, despite him reviewing all of that again with her on the phone, she continued to ask about the DNA.
Did you get results
Of what, sorry?
of DNA results?
Oh, we haven't sent the DNA. It's not being tested.
Why?
We can't spend public money on something like that. We know that you are not Maddeleine McCann, okay? As I said.
Okay, so this is the part where a lot of people say, see, Rabbit, they didn't test it. They didn't test the DNA. Guys, this has already been debunked before. So you want them to retest this DNA again? Again, I ask you, for what is the purpose if logically, and if you like look things through, it just doesn't make sense that she would be Maddeleine McCann. But okay, y'all are entitled to your opinion.
We are happy, we are satisfied, okay, and this is not just me talking, this is the team that work on this investigation. We are happy and satisfied that you are not Maddeleine McCann. You are one of many hundreds of people, I'm going to say hundreds, who think they are Maddeleine.
But what are you based on? Like, there was no DNA test.
I can't go into the details, okay? It's an ongoing investigation. You have had treatment over many years for mental health issues.
Yes, I had.
Unfortunately, having mental health issues is not nice. It's not pleasant.
It's not nice, but I'm fine now.
Yeah, okay. If you're fine, then you need to accept that you...
But you didn't do DNA test.
Despite the officer explaining to Julia that this is an ongoing investigation and he cannot share details about the case with her, she does not let up that she wants her DNA tested with Maddeleine McCann. Now, this is despite there being absolutely zero evidence that this woman is Maddeleine McCann.
Yeah, but you've got to accept that you've got loving parents and family.
Okay.
They are your family, okay? You are not Kate and Gerry's daughter.
But you don't know this because you didn't compare my DNA with them.
Right, I do know from other investigations that we're not going to compare your DNA. You have to accept, and there's nothing else I can say. I know there's nothing else I can say that will change your mind. And it's very hard to explain how investigations work, but we are extremely experienced in this. You are not the first person. You won't be the last person who says they are Maddeleine McCann, okay?
It's about that you have no proof against me, like nothing that would say that I am or I'm not.
So there's no facts at all to say you're Maddeleine, okay? There's no evidence. So we go by evidence. There's no evidence to say you're Maddeleine. Everything you've said, we have been able to disprove, okay? But we spoke in 2022, and I told you weren't Maddeleine, and you accepted that. You did. I made notes, and you said, okay.
So again, zero evidence to prove that Julia is Maddeleine McCann, but a lot that proves that she's not. Now, Operation Grange obviously would have dug into this. I'm sure they saw her birth certificate, medical records. They would know that she's from Poland, as well as her getting the DNA test that she and Fia had done, showing that she's 100% Polish, and Maddeleine McCann was not. Julia sadly has a long history of mental illness. Her parents are both tried to step in and help, but she is an adult and does what she wants. Now, the police officer also tries to give her some advice in this next clip about what harassment is and that she needs to leave the McCann family alone.
Now, I'm going to finish this call. We're not going to speak to you again, okay? We will not speak to you again. If you ring the British police or you go to Leicester again, they will contact... Any kind of contact will come back to us, okay? We are Operation Grange. It will come back to us. So it's pointless you making any more attempts to contact the British police.
Why?
Also, if you do go to Leicester again and you do, they are fully aware of you now. They know who you are. And if there's offences called harassment here. If you cause any harassment, you could be arrested, okay?
Is it blackmail? If I will go there, I will be... Yes, it is blackmail.
No, harassment's when you annoy someone.
I'm saying that you blackmail me now.
No, I'm not blackmailing.
It looks like, because I don't harass anyone.
I've just given you advice. Now, Julia, I'm really sorry to have to ring you like this.
I will never give up. This is something that I want to tell you.
I know you won't. Okay, but you take care, yeah? You
Okay,
take care.
bye.
Take care, bye-bye.
Despite that warning from the police officer and Julia also being told of the upset this is causing for the McCann family, she continues to post daily. Now, she did share this post a couple days ago saying, I changed my mind. I can't give up. I felt emotionally damaged yesterday. I found out that Kate and Gerry are emotionally devastated because of my actions too. And I felt bad because of my journey, but I cannot leave it. I cannot give up. And the very next day, she was back to posting pictures of Madeleine McCann, comparing them to herself and saying things like, Kate and Gerry have never done any DNA tests with me. It's extremely upsetting that Julia suffers from these mental health issues, but the harassment of the McCann family, the fraud and the scams just need to stop.
So the officers had to tell her, like, if you keep this going, this is considered harassment. That's what they had to tell her. And I mean, clearly she hasn't stopped. Like, she's been arrested. She went to court. Matter of fact, I got this little artwork. This is what court looked like. There was an artist there that drew all of this.
Yep.
I don't think that this is going to end very well for her. Shout out to Recaps with Julie, because she's been breaking this down. Like I said, she was one of the ones on TikTok to really break a lot of this down. Shout out to her, because she was one of the first ones, myself and a couple other creators as well that I remember. But anyways, so just giving you guys, if she was willing to tell Operation Grange, I'm never going to give up. I'm never going to give up. She's never going to give up. That's what she just said. You know what I mean? Yeah, you said, but she does have that weird thing on her eye. I think that that's doctored. And let me go even further. Martin Case was the one that was contacted about the eye thing, and he spoke on that too. Matter of fact, he reposted my message on his Instagram, and her parents said that they will never do a DNA test. Also proves her parents. Hold up, honey. Huh? Her parents did say they offered to have done a DNA test. She refused it. This was very early on. She didn't want to do a DNA test. Her mom was contacted, and her mom, like, she said that she had offered her to DNA test just to put this to rest before it even got to the point where it was going to go. She refused it. And I've asked, provide me a receipt of where her mom said, I'll never do a DNA test, because it doesn't exist. It's not true. Her dad made her a weird joke about buying her from address from dad. Wait, what? And her dad made a weird joke about buying her from address, dad? I'm so confused by this. What do you mean, Voices? What weird joke did her dad make? Knowing that she has mental illness, why joke with her and say weird things like that? I couldn't speak to that. What I know is that she's just not Maddie. That's my thought. But I don't know what you mean, knowing what joke, buying her what? And they will never also do a DNA test to help prove her. And her dad made a weird joke. This was before she landed on Maddie. They offered to do a DNA test. She was three other missing people before Maddie. So now it's like, well, I believe I'm Maddie and I'm doctoring receipts. Now you have to prove that this is who I am, or I'm not. I personally don't think it's on the McCanns, but again, I don't even know what joke you're talking about. I've never met her dad, so I wouldn't know, and I've never even seen an interview. Mom, they try to interview her, and she shut the door. She didn't want anything to do with this, if that makes sense. Okay, let's keep going, guys. Yeah, because mental illness runs in the family. But you know what? There's a lot of people that are mentally ill out there that don't do these kinds of things, right? Her dad made a joke about how he brought her from Maddie's dad. Voices. Now, is this something that that Julia said? Or did you see where the dad was interviewed and he was joking? Or is this information coming from Julia? Because that's the thing, that people are using a Shaun Attwood interview or an interview that she's done here and there to kind of run with it. And that's not facts, in my opinion. Her statements, she's lied multiple times. So did she say this, or do you have a receipt of this? Is there a text message or something like that? Is there a statement? Like, where is the receipt? People come into my chat and they tell me, like, this is what she said. Where's the receipt? Did her dad say it? Did you guys hear the dad say that? Did the dad interview saying that shit? That's what I want to know. Or was it a Shaun Attwood interview? Because if that's what it is, I'm sorry. I'm not believing anything that comes out of there. I'm not. Time and time again, it's been shown that nothing gets like proven when it comes to her. I just want to know. So was it a Shaun Attwood interview or was it dad interview? Let me know, girl. Let me know. Voices, let me know. Shout out to you, Voices. But let me know. Maybe you heard dad speak. Maybe there was an interview with dad and I never saw it. Or maybe it was Julia who made that statement. I seen the dad. There was a documentary about it and she had her parents on it and he made weird jokes. Okay, go ahead. Never heard of the parents doing a documentary. So that would be a first for me. If you can send it to me, please find the documentary. So maybe you heard the dad say a weird joke about him buying her or selling her. That would be a first. Did you guys hear it? Anybody else, for those that are here that have been following this from day one, if you heard something, is there a documentary where dad made a weird joke? I'm not talking about a statement that Julia Wandelt made, because I don't believe anything that comes out of her mouth either. I would love to see a doc. Me too. I'm down. Okay. A Netflix documentary in Canada? There was a Netflix documentary about this where Julia's dad said that she sold her. Never heard of that. What's the name of it? We could search it up and I'm sure I can get into a VPN. You heard it too? Okay, I can get into a VPN and pull it. Let me know. We'll do it real quick. What's the name of the documentary? I'm watching it now. Okay. Lacey, send it to me. There's two people saying the same thing, guys. I want to hear it too. I'm down. Let me know. Send the link to me. There's my email, y'all. Send me the link. I want to see exactly where dad said that he had sold her. It sounds like it's an interview. Never seen it before. Never. Okay, I think he was trying to be funny, honestly, but I think it's a bad tag to joke like he did. Oh, gotcha. But let me know what the name of it, because I'm willing to look for it. I'll purchase a VPN so I can go into Canadian documentaries. I have no problem. Please send it. Please send it. Let me know which one. I'm in the UK and I don't know of it. I didn't even know there was. I don't know, man. But please send it. You said Netflix and it's a Canadian documentary. I can't remember. It's been years now. Okay. Well, then Lacey will send it. Okay, Lacey remembers. Voice says she doesn't remember. It's been years now. Okay. All righty then. I'm just saying, never heard that. And I'm in contact with like group members. So I'll definitely ask them directly if they heard of a documentary. Yeah, how old is it? It's been like, she went viral in 2023. It's only 2025. They finished a documentary that quick? Damn. Oh, wow. Okay. Let's keep going. Shout out to everybody in the chat. All right. And then it says, so we were at lunch, day 4, live from court updates. Kate's friend gives evidence. Linda McQueen. So now we have Linda McQueen, okay? Maddie's mom's lifelong friend and Shaun's godmother is now in the witness box. She has known Kate McCann for 55 years, having grown up with her in Liverpool. Shocked and upset at message to daughter. Kate McCann's lifelong friend, Linda McQueen, told jurors that she was shocked and upset to discover Wandelt had contacted her daughter, Ellie, saying that she had no idea the woman had reached out. Dang, so she was reaching out to friends? Girl, that's, oh my God, disgusting. Desperate pleas found in own spam folder. Linda said that she later checked her own Facebook spam messages and found one from Wandelt reading, "Hi, from what I have learned, you are one of the few people who believe Madeleine is alive." Very triggering impact. Linda McQueen told the jury, it's very triggering. It brings back memories. It's concerning that somebody has information about you, your family, and friends, and using it to get under Kate's skin. Pressure to contact Kate. She added, it was emotional for me. The language used was emotive. She wanted me to contact Kate, and I felt she was pressuring me to do that for her. Okay. So court adjourns. The hearing has finished for the day and will resume tomorrow morning at the Crown Court. Subscribe to the UK live, notifications and everything. Okay, so they do a little like summary. Woman who claimed to be Madeleine McCann stalked missing girls' parents. Court told. At the Crown Court, a trial of profound legal significance unfolded as the Julia Wandelt, a 24-year-old Polish national, faced allegations of orchestrating a 3-year stalking campaign against Kate and Gerry McCann, parents of Madeleine McCann. Wandelt, accused alongside with Karen Spragg, 61, from Cardiff, denied charges of stalking, with the prosecution alleging a calculated pattern of harassment that includes phone calls, messages, and physical appearance at the McCann's home between June 2022 to February 2025. The court heard that Wandelt, who claimed to be Madeleine, abducted in 2007 from Portugal, lacked any familial link, a claim the prosecution dismantled with scientific evidence. The prosecutor, Michael Duck, described Wandelt as an emotional manipulator who fabricated memories of McCann family life, asserting she recalled events from Madeleine's siblings. The jury was told Wandelt's assertions crumbled under scrutiny with her age. She's nearly 2 years older than Maddie, would be posing a contradiction. Duck revealed Wandelt's history of impersonating other missing people. I love this. She has a history of she impersonated 3 other missing children, including a German, Inga Grenrich, and the U.S. Asaya Bishop, underscoring a pattern of deceptive behavior. In a striking courtroom moment, Wandelt broke down. Okay, girl, attempting to exit the dock. As the prosecution... What? Let's see. Let's see. Hi, Peak. I'm sorry, looking for the name. Yeah, let me know what the name. You guys said very specific. Netflix doc. I have Netflix. I can definitely get access to Canadian Netflix because I can do a VPN where I can get international stuff. So I'll be on it. I really, really will. But you guys gotta let me know what's the name of it. I mean, that's significant, I would think. But why would the parents have been on a documentary years ago? Right? Like that for me, it's like the story went viral in 2023. When did they go on a documentary in Netflix? But I mean, there's 2 people saying the same. So maybe, I don't know, man. I have a lot of questions. Baby Buddy says a whole hassle. Baby Buddy said a lot. She did. Okay, let's keep going. Again, she's impersonating other missing children. The prosecutor detailed Wandelt's tactic, including 60 calls to McCann's, voicemails, emails, letters alongside to visit the McCann's village. In one voicemail, Wandelt claimed, if I'm her, everything will be okay, while blaming large corruption for her unrecognized identity. Look, I'm not a fan of the McCanns. I'm going to be very real. Because what kind of parents leave their children unattended for them to, especially their 3-year-olds, 2-year-olds, so they can go party? I can agree with that. But my not being a fan of the McCanns doesn't mean that therefore I agree with everything that Julia must be Maddie. No. I believe Maddie McCann has been gone from this earth a long time ago. I believe that she was killed shortly after being taken. That is just an assumption that I have based on credible journalists that I've heard their assessments of being there, interviews and everything. I believe that the McCanns hold a responsibility a lot greater. Whether they were responsible or not, I don't know, but that is just my opinion. I do feel like there's a level of fault to the McCanns, and they should have been charged with something as far as like child neglect or something, because if I leave my kids alone and I go party, I go get a drinky drink, I would be charged. Right? Like that's how it happens. Exactly. I think McKenna, they hold a level of responsibility for that. But that doesn't mean that because I believe that, I think that Julia is Maddie McCann or Julia is right or Julia is justified in any of this behavior. No, my friend, I don't. And honestly, a lot of people out there have a lot of mental health issues like Julia, but there's a lot of premeditation that's gone behind Julia. Like interviews, like doctoring information. You know what I mean? Like, she's gone to that extent. It's very hard for people to feel a level of sympathy if you're going to go to that extent to do this. Okay. Netflix series, The Disappearance of Maddie McCann's 2019 series. Yeah, Dora, I reviewed that. That's a U.S. Documentary, and it never mentioned Julia Wandelt. It never mentioned Julia Wandelt. I reviewed that. I actually talked about it. That documentary never mentioned Julia Wandelt at all. It never interviewed Julia's parents. That's for sure. Huh. Hold up, guys. Okay. Thank you. The Netflix series was thoroughly debunked. You said, "Oh my goodness." Yeah, but I did see the Netflix series. That was a couple years old. That was a good. There's another one that came out too. There's been a couple of Netflix series, but again, Julia Wandelt has been saying that she's Madeleine McCann since 2022. She went viral in 2023. She says she was 3 other missing people. Keep into account the motive with all of this. And thank you, James, for a clapperboard for the CEO. I know, clap. And like I said, I'll stand with that. Exactly. What the McCanns, Rabbit, what the McCanns was horrible to us. However, it's kind of accepted thing over there. It took me a long time to understand that. Yeah, that's very true. Clear. I mean, every country and every culture and I'm not saying that it's justified or is right, but everybody has a little bit of different upbringings. I just don't understand how you travel to a different country and then leave your children there while you go and get a drink, and then you have the husband or the wife come back and check on them. It doesn't make sense to me. Who leaves their children when they're traveling to a different country? It doesn't make sense. But I hear you clearly, Shelly. It just doesn't. Julia's a fraud, and I think she's not as effed up as people like to say. Cash, you're the 20th person who said that to me. And I could definitely feel like there might be premeditation behind her behavior because of the pattern that she has. I think of Maddie often. I have the split-second question as a parent. Am I on the driveway getting ready to unload the car? And do I leave my kiddos while I go inside unload? Maddie tells me no. Yeah. Maddie McCann is a cautionary tale. Not just travel. It's don't leave your kids by themselves. I don't leave them in the car. You wouldn't leave your animals. It's the same. I mean, a pet leaving them at home is a little bit different, but you still gotta be careful because I have cameras. When I go and I have to leave, I have cameras rolling because I do have a dog, and I've been seeing those videos where the dogs will start a fire or they'll do something, and I like to see what the hell my dog gets into while I'm gone. But I do that. It's important. It is common. You're right, Joanne. Let's see. They should have been charged with child neglect, endangering at the very least, McKenna says. It's a lot. And what's so crazy is that this happened so many years ago that it's like reviewing it now, it still doesn't change. What Julia Wandelt has done here, she's taken away the attention from Maddie McCann. And that's not okay. You can believe whatever the hell you want to about the McCanns. Please do. But what Julia Wandelt has done here is unacceptable. It's just not, it's unacceptable. It just is. And I think that a lot of us can agree with that what she's done here is unacceptable. That she's taken from this child. I feel for Julia's family. Yeah. And I feel for her family too. She had them dragged through the mud for years, accusing them of terrible things just to try to prove that she's Maddie. Yeah. And that's why the mom, put yourself in that situation, y'all. If you have an adult child, how far do you go? If you're adult child, okay, Okay, adult, keyword adult, meaning over the age of 21. Okay, not even 18, because even in 18, I still got a little wiggle room, right? Because I could still do something. But if your adult child, 24 years old, went to this extent, guys, what do you do as a parent? I would love my child. I love you. Even though you don't believe I'm your mama, I love you. But I'm not going to jail for you, my friend. Like, I'm not. I taught you everything that I needed to. I told you not to do this. I told you not to pretend you're missing dead children or whatever. Like, I told you not to do that. I told you. That's all you can do, Jay Boopsy. Sometimes, like, and I feel for her parents in that sense. A lot of people have already made, they made up their minds about the parents without even actually knowing them. I think that that's a disservice to, if you're covering true crime, to do that. Like, you gotta, like, there's different things. I can believe there's corruption. I can believe Julia believes that there's different things and going on and everything. But, like, at some point, when do you stop? When do you realize that this is a grift versus this girl really believes that's her? If you're going to the extent of altering pictures because you want to look like you have an eye right there. Matter of fact, let me pull that up. Mr. Martin Case. Shout out to Mr. Martin Case. Give me 1 sec, y'all. Hold up, guys. Let me see if I can find Martin Case tweet, guys. Give me 1 second. Because he did tag me, and he didn't tag me, but he used it. Where's my notifications? Let's see. Martin Case. Nope, that's not what I want. Notifications. Here it is. So this is his page, okay? Now, Martin Case is a journalist. He's an investigator. He really digs into stories, and he's done several Netflix documentaries, by the way. So he posted this, I think he posted this like a day ago, and he writes, Martin Case says, in February 2023, a third party passed a message from me to Julia Wandelt explaining why she couldn't be Madeleine McCann. Madeleine has part of her iris missing called a columboma, okay? That little key thing on her eye, which never heals. It's like that for life. And Julia does not have that same condition. Instead, she has a freckle on her iris, which is quite common. No DNA tests were needed, and certainly no need to keep harassing the McCanns. Unlike a YouTuber who picked up on my response, Julia chose to ignore it, possibly fueled on by the fame it brought her, and almost certainly by the involvement of her co-accused, Karen Spragg. This is me right there while I'm opening my mouth talking about this. Martin Case message. So I was like, oh shit, that's me. Yeah. So Mr. Case, that was the message I read. This video is like 2 years old. The one that he's talking about. Yes. See if I can find that video. Now I just want to look for it. Because I know Martin Case. Hold up. I wish he would have tagged me. That would have been nice to have gotten a shout out. I'm just saying. Because I did quote him. Because like I said, I've been following this for a long time. But some of these videos are old. See, what was the name of that video? It was called Martin Case Message on Maddie McCann. Okay, that's what it's called. So let's look for this video. It shouldn't be hard to find. It shouldn't be hard to find. Let's see. Martin Case. Here it is. Found it. Found it. So this is me. This was literally 2 years ago. Okay, now let's look for the transcript because that'll help me. I don't like hearing myself talk all the time. You know, I talk too much. Martin K's statement. Here it is. Somebody reached out to him. Okay. Thank you so much, Rose, Welch Rose, for sharing this with me. And Rose has a YouTube channel. You guys go check her out, please. And thank you. Let me tell you what this is about. His name is Martin Case. Okay. And if you Google search Martin Case, Madeleine McCann, his photo comes up, everything comes up. He's a like a security consultant, investigative journalist. Okay. He actually did some commentary when the documentary of Madeleine McCann came out. Somebody reached out to him because you have to understand. So this was the documentary in 2019, the one that's in the chat. I have not seen Netflix come up with a new documentary. I remember we reviewed one or talked about reviewing one, unless it was newer. I don't know, but let me hit play on this. The DNA, where are we hearing about? The only person that has said that the family has accepted a DNA and is willing to do a DNA is either a source that has not been identified by the family or Julia herself. This is, and I can show you, because this is when Julia was telling people 2 years ago. She told people that the McCanns agreed to a DNA test. She lied to people. This is another lie that she told. She lied to people and said, well, they agreed to it. They never agreed. There was a source close to the family, and all of that was coming from Julia Wandelt and company. Okay, this is how they twisted the media narrative when the McCanns never agreed to a DNA. Because we also have another exclusive interview that she did on another channel before she completely muted. So, and I have permission by that other creator as well, and shout out to him, and we'll talk about him here momentarily. But I want to show you, if we can't get a family statement, we got a statement from Mr. Martin Case, who was somebody that was working on this case at some point in time, all right? And I'm going to read it to you because I know it's a little blurry. But somebody by the name of Caroline reached out to him and said, he says, "Hi, Caroline, thank you for getting in touch. Although I've worked on Madeleine's case for many years, I haven't seen Julia's concerns about her own past. Whilst Julia could possibly be a victim of trafficking, I can see straight away that she isn't Madeleine McCann. The discoloration in Julia's eye is due to variations in the pigmentation of her iris, similar to a freckle, and the larger of them is oriented to the 6 o'clock position. Madeleine's eye condition is very different. She has a columboma, which is a condition where a section of the iris is missing, in effect giving a keyhole shape pupil, and it is oriented at the 7 o'clock position." All right, let's keep playing this receipt real quick, and let me see. And it looks like people have reached out to other sources that had covered the case. There was one particular reporter by the name of Sonia, I think it's Sonia Polton, and she's actually talked about this today, and she had like a Zoom call. This was 2 years ago. This was before I really got to know Sonia Polton through her content, and it's like I said, a lot of this is historic for me. So it's kind of like it's all coming back to me when I think about certain things when it comes to this. And Jay Boopsy is right. Like, what did you say? You said something about the documentary. I watch docs every day, and it's must be on the Netflix dark web, because I've never seen it either. But there's 2 people that said that there's a Canadian documentary. I'm waiting for it, but let me know, because that is a very specific thing. And like I said, Julia's parents have been very quiet, so I've never seen them interviewed for anything. I would like to see it. You know what I mean? All those in favor say aye. The ayes have it. Mace, where have you been all my life? I haven't seen you in a while, Mace. Like, where have you been? Have you forsaken me? Where have you been? You come in here like just every once in a while. Where have you been? Anyways, y'all. Okay, now let's get serious, okay? Because you guys do too much in the chat. Let's get serious, okay? I don't think that this is Madeleine McCann. I don't think. I don't know. I guess we'll see where this trial goes, right? Like, we know that this is not, at least for me, I know this is not Maddie. And you know, the people that believe typically are the ones that don't like the McCanns, which is fine. I don't like the McCanns, but I don't believe that's Maddie. You know, two things can be correct at the same time. I'm not worthy of your magnificence on a regular. Man, you, how majestic of you. There could be a lot of weird things about Julia Wandelt. I can agree with that, right? A lot of weird stuff. But I think a lot of this is centered on her mental health. And I've accepted that. But you know, you guys do your research and make sure that your research isn't coming from Julia Wandelt specifically. She's known to alter receipts. So you have to use a different source for research. You can't just use Julia Wandelt's words. You just can't. It's historic. She lies. Don't forget, a couple years ago, after the whole thing, when she came out here saying that she was Maddie McCann, she then had to she apologized. She said, "I'm sorry for the pain and everything that I've caused to the McCanns." She apologized. You know, Rabbit sounding British. You guys are funny, man. Anyways, well, I'm gonna let you guys go, okay? Because it's adjourned. I think we'll have day 5 maybe tomorrow. I do wonder, in my opinion, I believe, yeah, why you guys didn't read my community posts. The next time people get me upset or I don't see them, why have you forsaken me? Where have you been? We'll keep up. We'll see. Personally, I think that she needs to be held accountable. Julia Wandelt does. She needs to be held accountable, and not just her, but other people have supported the behavior. Karen Spragg and anybody else in that mix. And it's funny, even those people that supported her early on don't anymore. You gotta have to wonder, you know. So we'll be live later. We'll be live later. We gotta cover some stuff that's happening. I want to talk about the 7 bodies and the. Is it in the body? Where are these bodies coming from? And they say they don't got a serial killer. What is going on? Let me know. You said watching the Attwood interview when she went to jail, he went to jail to get her out or whatever. And then I haven't heard anything from Tara, what happened? What had happened? All those supporters are quiet because they're not trying to get in trouble. That they're in the UK, so they can get in trouble over there. They don't want to get arrested. I find it funny that that they haven't gotten in trouble yet. I'm just saying. But I do want to know, is there a serial killer out there? Because the people are acting like this is weird. I don't know if you guys heard about that, but I definitely want to talk about that. And then there's some other stuff I want to talk about. But I'll see you guys later. Bye. Hit the like button. Bye. Oh, do you want to say bye? No, you don't want to say bye? Okay, she don't want to say bye. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.